All right, Michelle Gold here. I just put up a video that you couldn't hear me on. So if you can hear me, let me know. Give me a shout or a message. So this video is called Breaking Barriers. And I saw a movie this weekend that probably many of you have seen. It's not new. And I could not believe how inspirational and motivational and emotional this movie was. It's called Hidden Figures, and if you haven't seen it, you need to drop everything and go and watch this movie. It's an incredibly inspiring, true story. It's about 3 black women in the early 1960s who are working for NASA and must overcome terrible adversity in order to excel and become contributors to the American space program. These women were living in times of segregation. Segregation in society, segregation at their jobs, segregation within NASA. The brilliant minds of these women were not afforded the opportunity to simply show up and work hard. These women had to show up, work hard, and straddle the barriers in place because of the color of their skin. And work hard they did. In fact, John Glenn may not have reached outer space if it weren't for Katherine Johnson's commitment and her passion. In the space race against Russia, the United States needed these 3 women. This is a time in our history where barriers were being broken all over the place. For the first time in history, we sent a man to the moon. And for the first time in history, not just women of color, but all women began to be seen as a force in the boardroom. These women were true superheroes, but a different kind of superhero. The kind that wears a dress, carries a pencil, and made it possible for men to fly into space and discover the impossible. And it's impossible today to imagine that just 50-some years ago, what kind of environment these women worked in. But there are lessons that can be learned from these superheroes, and these lessons can and should be taken to heart today. Forbes offered some insight into these lessons, and here are my top 3 favorites. Firstly, be indispensable. Each of these 3 women toiled away in a building specifically for colored women, but through hard work, smarts, and determination, it was impossible for them not to be promoted. Secondly, focus on what you can control. These women worked in degrading conditions that were also demoralizing and discriminating. The closest colored bathroom to Johnson's desk was a half-mile away. But rather than focus on negativity, our heroes found ways to work hard, bond together, and contribute in ways that could not be ignored. And my favorite lesson from Hidden Figures was the support group that the women formed. This is absolutely my favorite takeaway, and one that resonates with me every day: the power of sisterhood. These women depended on each other for advice, laughter, and support. When women empower each other, amazing things happen. I am witness to this in my business each and every day, and it's what makes me love my job so much. We've come a long way since the space race and the abolition of segregation, and yet we find ourselves in times that require us to remain steadfast to our commitments and belief. When women band together, watch out, the world becomes a better place. And just today, our company announced some news that is so staggering that makes me even that much prouder to be working with a women-owned business. It's amazing how far we've become and the milestone that we reached today. And it's exciting to think about where we're going. Thanks and have a great day.